What if I told you that everything you know about history could change in an instant? Imagine that in a single year, the world as it was known ended, leaving behind only ruins and mysteries for us to uncover. Entire civilizations vanished, empires crumbled, and the balance of power shifted forever. All in the fateful year of 1177 BC. But the question is, what really happened, and how did the world change so dramatically in such a short time? The Late Bronze Age, a world of grandeur, massive cities, flourishing trade routes, and kings who claimed divine right. From Egypt's Nile to the palaces of Mycenae, from the Hittite Empire in Anatolia to the bustling ports of Ugarit, life was seemingly unstoppable, and then, without warning, it all began to fall apart. The year is 1177 BC, a date forever etched in the annals of history. This is the moment historians mark as the sudden and dramatic collapse of the Great Bronze Age civilizations, a turning point that would reshape the ancient world. For centuries, powerful kingdoms had flourished across the Mediterranean and Near East, building vast cities, trading goods, and forging alliances. But in a single generation, everything changed. The end didn't creep in slowly. It struck with terrifying speed, sudden, brutal, and utterly catastrophic. Imagine a world where stability and prosperity seemed unshakable, only to be shattered almost overnight by forces no one could control. In less than a single generation, mighty kingdoms that had stood for centuries, some for over 500 years, simply vanished from the map. Their cities fell silent, their monuments left to crumble, their people scattered or lost to history. Cities were reduced to ashes, palaces abandoned to the elements, and once bustling trade routes became overgrown and forgotten. The lifeblood of commerce and culture dried up, leaving only ruins and mysteries behind. To this day, scholars refer to it as the worst systemic collapse in human history, an event more devastating than the fall of Rome, more mysterious than the onset of the Dark Ages. The scale of destruction was unprecedented. But what could have caused such widespread devastation? What force or combination of forces could wipe out entire civilizations almost simultaneously? The answers remain elusive, shrouded in the mists of time, waiting to be uncovered. Some say it was war, the Hittites, the Mycenaeans, the Egyptians. Ancient records hint at invasions, marauding armies, and battles the world forgot. Could a series of wars, all coordinated across continents, really do this? Others claim environmental disaster, earthquakes, droughts, famine. Some civilizations show signs of sudden food shortages, fields abandoned, entire populations starving. Could nature itself have struck the final blow? And then, the Sea Peoples. Who were they really? Their name echoes through history like a warning, shrouded in mystery and speculation. For centuries, scholars have debated their origins, their motives, and their true impact on the ancient world. Where did they come from? Were they a single people, or a confederation of desperate groups, driven by hunger, war, or climate catastrophe? The Mediterranean was a crossroads of cultures, and the Sea Peoples seemed to appear from its very heart, like a storm. Ancient Egyptian texts speak of mysterious invaders from the sea, destroying cities, disrupting trade, and challenging pharaohs. Their ships landed on foreign shores, their warriors clashed with the armies of mighty empires, leaving devastation in their wake. To the Egyptians, they were a terrifying force, almost unstoppable. But the truth is we don't know, not fully. The records are fragmentary, the evidence scattered. Were they conquerors, or simply survivors caught in the chaos of a collapsing world? Some think they were refugees, desperate for survival, fleeing famine, drought, or war. Perhaps they were families, entire communities, forced to abandon their homes and seek new lands across the sea. Others, merciless marauders exploiting a collapsing world. Raiders who saw opportunity in the chaos, striking at weakened cities and vulnerable trade routes. The truth may lie somewhere in between. But here's the twist. Some evidence suggests the Sea Peoples weren't the cause of the Late Bronze Age collapse. They were the symptom. Their arrival may have been a desperate response to a world already unraveling, a sign of deeper troubles beneath the surface. Here's what makes 1177 BC so terrifying. This wasn't just a regional disaster. These civilizations were deeply connected: trade, culture, diplomacy. When one fell, it triggered a chain reaction. When Ugarit's ports closed, grain and tin stopped flowing to Mycenae. When Egypt struggled, Hittite trade collapsed. One failure, multiplied across the globe. A systemic collapse, before we even had the word for it. Archaeologists have pieced together fragments of the story from what remains: burned palaces, abandoned villages, skeletons showing signs of famine. Written records abruptly stop. Letters left behind speak of panic, scarcity, and fear. And yet, nothing in these records fully explains how it all went wrong. It's a historical void, a perfect enigma. And that's why 1177 BC haunts us today. Was it the Sea Peoples, a natural disaster, climate change, political corruption, economic failure, or some combination of all of them? Modern science leans toward a perfect storm: drought, famine, invasions, and systemic collapse converging at the same moment in time. It's a reminder that even the mightiest civilizations are fragile. Even the most advanced societies can fall in the blink of history. 1177 BC isn't just ancient history, it's a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even the most advanced civilizations can unravel. Back then, thriving cities, powerful kingdoms, and vast empires were all connected by intricate trade networks, political alliances, and a shared dependence on climate and resources. But when disaster struck, those very connections became vulnerabilities. Our modern world, honestly, mirrors the interconnectedness of the late Bronze Age in ways we rarely consider. Today, our cities pulse with life, our economies are woven together by global trade, and our societies rely on technology and cooperation more than ever before. A small disruption, whether it's a financial crisis, a supply chain breakdown, or a sudden natural disaster, can ripple through economies, governments, and societies, exposing just how fragile our systems can be when put to the test. Just like it did over 3,000 years ago, when the collapse of one civilization sent shockwaves across an entire era, changing the course of history. It forces us to ask difficult questions about our own future. Are we prepared for the unexpected? Are we learning from the past, or simply repeating its mistakes? Are we truly as safe as we think, or are we living on the edge of a precipice, unaware of how quickly things can change? Or is history quietly repeating itself, echoing through the ruins and the shadows of our own cities, waiting for the perfect storm to remind us just how vulnerable we really are? So, the next time you hear about 1177 BC, remember this: civilizations don't always end with a bang, sometimes with a whisper, a chain reaction of events that no one fully understands yet. And maybe, just maybe, the world could change faster than we ever imagine. The question isn't just what happened in 1177 BC, it's whether we're ready for what could happen next. If this story shook you, if it made you question what you thought you knew about history, hit like, subscribe, and dive deeper, because the past is never really gone.